Good morning, everybody. I'm here with the amazing Psychic Liz Cross. We're here with a health probe for you. How you doing this morning?
Oh, fantastic, Mr. Photon. How are you?
I'm doing great. So we have a bunch of requests here that we're going to get through from my Discord channel. And so for those of you that don't know or are new, we actually have a private Discord that's connected to a Patreon. And that's actually how you access all of our content that's not available on YouTube. So this is going to be a two-part video, for example. If you'd like to watch the second part of this video, you can head over to patreon.com/remote viewing and beyond. And it's a few dollars a month to access all of our content, which is a lot, spanning different types of themes and content. We have health probes, financial, spiritual. We pretty much run the whole gamut. You can have your whole broadcasting menu right there for the week. In fact, there's enough content that we're pumping out, so it's well worth your time. And you also get to support us as well on all the wonderful work that Liz does. So without further ado, let's get into the first part of this video. We have a request to probe the violet ray, which I've never actually got to see in person. It's an antique medical device from the early 20th century, maybe late 19th century, I think. It was made popular again by oh my God, the famous medical medium. What's his name? Oh my God, my brain
I
is
can't
failing me.
remember. I don't know.
Uh,
Sorry.
yeah,
Sorry, everyone. I know
uh,
they're going to slaughter us for
I'll
that one.
probably remember it halfway through and blurt it out. Oh, yeah, there it is. Edgar Casey. So in Edgar Casey's readings, he made this popular. It was invented before Casey was around, I think, but he found use in it, or through his readings, he was, I guess, mentioning it or quote unquote prescribing it to his clients. So these devices, it's an electrical device. It produces like an electrical charge, almost like an arc, maybe something similar to like a Tesla coil, and it was kind of put over top of the surface of the skin or area that you were supposedly treating. And yeah, I mean, I never got to experience one myself. You can see these are all kind of rebuilt, kind of refurbished machines that people have restored, and I believe there's a few modern ones that people have tried to kind of recreate it in the modern sense. So I'm wondering if we could bring in our resident health expert, Menwei Ho, to help us out today.
Absolutely.
So, what does she think of the original Violet Ray designs that existed? Oh my God, I guess almost 100 years ago now, it's going on. Um, on a scale of 1 to 10, what does she think, how this could possibly help people with their health?
What do you think about the violet ray? And what exactly? Because I don't know what this is.
So let me get like a better picture to kind of zoom in on it here for you. Maybe if I look at the picture, so images. So it's like a device that you would kind of like a wand that you would pick up and kind of drag over top. Like here's a good picture of maybe a modern one. See how it's kind of like this purple kind of like hue inside. It's like a plasma almost, and there's like these little electricity that kind of runs inside and maybe on the outside as well. And you would kind of comb that over top of the area that you wanted to treat. So there's different kind of attachments you can see here, but they're all electrical in nature. And so it was called the violet ray because I guess it gave off this kind of like purple plasma hue when it's turned on.
Mm,
Um, so,
okay.
so this is like an example of one of the older units that had been restored from 100 years ago or around that time. So what does she think of these older violet rays? Are any of them effective for maintaining or improving health?
Are any of the violet rays effective? I mean, they are effective, but I feel like you have to spend a long time underneath or with one.
Hmm. Okay. Um, And what does she think of the modern ones that they've kind of created now? I think this might be like a more modern one that they've created here. Are they any more effective these days, or basically is it just the
Are they
same
any
idea?
these days? Not really. It's the same. It's the
Hmm.
same idea.
And like to grade it on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of applying it to like chronic disease or ailments for that people might have health wise, what does she give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
On a scale, excuse me, on a scale of 1 to 10. What do you give it? A scale of 1 to 10. About a 4 or 5.
Okay. Let's have some fun. Let's bring in Edgar Casey.
Okay, yeah, I've got him here.
So what is his opinion of the violet ray now that he's passed on to the other side?
It
Does he
was the best that he could do at the time
Right. So he still thinks that for the time it was very effective.
for the time. Yes, extremely compared to what other things were out there at the time.
And what does he think now in modern times? Does he agree with Mei Wen Ho that it's, maybe not the best thing around anymore, but it's, maybe a 4 or 5 on the 1 to 10 scale?
What do you think as far as effectiveness on a scale of 1 to 10? I mean, he loves this invention, so he's given it a good 6 or 7.
Okay. Well, yeah, for sure. He's maybe a little bit biased, but we can't blame him for that, right? So that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, you can find these devices on like eBay and Etsy and websites like that. Who knows if they're actually working or in good working order, but they're certainly curious and interesting. So I hope that answers some questions for people. So let's move along to the next one. Actually, let's see what we have here. Yeah, the next request we have is to probe Michael J. Fox, because for those of you who are familiar with him, he suffers from Parkinson's disease, and he through his career in television and film, he actually had it, through his career, and he actually hid it from the people he was working with, his peers, in order so he could keep on working. And then at some point he had to kind of step away because the symptoms were too much to hide anymore. Um, so we kind of have a request to probe him. I'm not sure what we want to ask him other than like I mean we can ask him how he's doing if you want to pull in Michael J. Fox.
No, he's not doing well at all.
No, I think the question was around like, is he doing something spectacular, or did he ever do anything amazing to kind of ease those symptoms or reverse it at all?
Um, the violet, the violet wand, does it reverse those? I mean, it did help him.
Oh, he did use a violet ray. I wasn't asking that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He did use did you use the violet? He did use some sort of light therapy.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm aware of that as well. Like there is red light therapy that's being tested now for neurological diseases. Was it a red light therapy device?
Was it a red light therapy device? No, it's more UV.
Oh, interesting.
Calls it UV light therapy.
Interesting. So was that using the sunlight itself, or was it using a machine?
Was that using the sunlight? No, it was using a machine.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm not aware of too many UV light device like medical devices. Like you can buy UV lights and apply them to the skin, which I've done before, and you can also have lights that you can look into as well, to have the UV lights like in low amounts kind of enter into the eye, which has some effect. There's also, could you ask if it's UV light blood irradiation?
UV light, I'm sorry,
Blood irradiation.
blood radiation?
Blood irradiation. Or
Is it UV light, blood radiation? No, it's going into his eyes.
interesting. Okay, yeah. So it's very unless you're an ophthalmologist. So if you go to school as an ophthalmologist, which is the doctor that, takes care of your eyes, they're actually taught that UV light doesn't really have a place in the eye, and it's very damaging. And of course, UV light can be damaging, if it's used improperly or you get overexposure. But we do have these options inside our eye that actually can receive UV light, specifically UVA light, which is what gives you a tan. And that has effects throughout your body in many different ways, specifically hormones, neurotransmitters, and those all go through the brain. So it's not surprising to me that he may have had success having these frequencies enter his eye. I'm very curious to know what he was using. I might have to look this up on my own to see if this is like public information as to what he used. specifically. So was it like a light bulb that he used, or was it like a medical device that was designed for this purpose?
Was it a light bulb? No, it was a medical device designed for the purpose.
Interesting. And how long would he use this device per day, for instance?
How long would you use this device per day? How long? Not very long, only about 15 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty reasonable. And does he feel like he had really good success using that?
Do you feel like you had very, he feels like he did, yes.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm very familiar with that. I practice sun gazing in the morning, which doesn't have any UV light in it, actually, but I do know the benefits of getting sunlight in the eyes. So for people that do wear glasses, the glass that's in your spectacles, it actually blocks UV light. And we do need some amount of it in our eyes to be healthy. So it's always recommended that you at least take your glasses off temporarily at some point. People that wear contacts as well, there is an issue there where they do block UV light, and so you're not getting the, the minimum effective doses even when you're outside. So I do encourage glasses over contacts, for when you can use them for that purpose. So there's definitely free ways you can treat yourself if you have neurological conditions with the sunlight. But I'm interested to know what he was using specifically in terms of a medical device. So I'm gonna have to do some more research on that, but that's very interesting to me. So.
And he does a lot of herbs as well.
Sorry, a lot of herbs.
Yeah.
What specific herbs was he taking for his Parkinson's?
What specific ones were you taking for your Parkinson's? Um, a lot of like really deep green ones. I'm getting like, what was that? He's telling me it's like a almost like algae or algae.
Hmm.
Um, he
Was
takes
it?
a lot of vitamins too.
I bet. Yeah, I bet. I mean, I'm sure, at least at the time when he had his career, he was pretty well off. So I'm sure he had a lot of money to spend on pretty much anything and pull out all the stops, at least back in the day, to try everything, right? So,
Mm.
um,
And he tried acupuncture, he's tried the whole I mean, really, he's tried everything.
I bet. So what does he feel has been the most effective for him at this point?
What do you feel has been the most effective? He did some sort of shock treatment on the brain.
Was that using well, what's the word? Like a TENS machine?
Was that using like a TENS? Yes, similar, yes.
And we've actually probed that before, the use of TENS machines. I think it was for neurological disorders. So that,
Oh, I don't remember, but yes.
yeah, and so for people that aren't familiar with that, usually you'll find them in rehab facilities or maybe chiropractors' offices. They're electrodes that you can put on top of the skin, and it sends a DC electric current into the body. And it's funny because you'll feel your muscles um, flexing on their own, contracting and expanding on their own. So it gives you can actually use it to actually work out in a way, like add to supplement your workout on top of it, because it's really like contracting your muscles really quickly. But it's also giving current to your body, and your muscles obviously use current to contract and expand, but everything in your body is electrical in nature. So the brain is certainly electrical in nature. So it's interesting, that he used that specifically. Did he use any sort of magnetic therapies for his brain as well?
Did you use any sort of magnetic therapies? No.
Interesting. Okay. That's another, thing that's being studied as well.
I
Meg,
mean, he's really lasted a long time.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know the actual like numbers, but it seems on the outside he's done a really good job of at least slowing it down. Um, so can we ask Mei Wen Ho, was that to do with his genetics, or is it more to do with the treatments that he's had over the years?
Was that to do with his genetics? No, it's the treatments. And he's had a lot. It's constant treatment, which as we all know, most of us, most people that are regular people with Parkinson's, they don't get that level of treatment.
No. Yeah, I would have to think he did have a very successful career, so he was able to kind of pull out all the stops for sure. But the things that he tried, right, that works, I think a lot of it now might be a little bit more accessible to people. It's kind of good when someone like this is a pioneer in the field. You can kind of study what they've done, what works, what doesn't work, and you don't have to throw the entire, everything at the wall. You can kind of pick and choose from what, those people had success with. So kudos to him, and we can learn a lot from what he's done, I think, if we I'll have to look into it. I'm not too familiar. I don't know if this is public information or not, but certainly fascinating if someone you love is suffering from one of these neurological diseases. This could be a path for you to explore for sure, what Michael J. Fox has done. um
Mm.
Perfect. So we're going to cut this here. This is going to be part one, and we're going to have a part two where we go into some more listener requests and some things if we have time that I want to cover personally. So if you want to see all the content that we produce, you need to become a member on our Patreon, and you'll have access to our Discord as well and join our community. And that's where we post all of our content. You can also make requests here for our health probes, for crypto, for whatever floats your boat, whatever your interests include, and we may cover that for you. So yeah, head on over to patreon.com, remote viewing and beyond / remote viewing and beyond, and chip in a couple bucks, and it's well worth your time.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I'm excited for part two. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.